Alright, hello fellow viewers and welcome back to yet another Safari Saturday. You know how this goes. I go through the Safar-Zone, through each area, which there are 6 of, and I try to get every single shiny there, and I get that by using RNG manipulation. I mean, this has been a thing for several months now, so I think explanations don't need to be told here. Hey there, Ahmed, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Great to see you back again. Let's already oh, Eontimer is not making any sound. Hang on. I do have somewhat kind of troubled. It's some trouble if you bleh. Okay, it's somewhat troublesome if you use Eontimer without sound. That is kind of pointless. And people text me now. As always, this is just a classic thing that always happens. Alright, but yeah, I have my adamant synchronizer ready. That is my Espeon because I'm looking for a shiny Golduck. So shiny Golduck and shiny Magikarp should be the only ones that I still need to get in Area 3. And I mean, of course, if my viewers wish to do so, or at least wish that I would do so, I think that is more appropriate. I'll definitely be okay with maybe going to the other areas, even if we didn't get all the shinies that I can get here. I mean, it really depends. Just areas 5 and 6 have some really interesting shinies. But for now, it's Golduck and Magikarp. I mean, should be doable. Definitely. I use a synchronizer with adamant for the Golduck because if I don't use one, I only get one single shiny frame. And usually it's much easier if you are hunting for a shiny that has multiple shiny frames. Even though I don't think I'm gonna accidentally hit the frame 15,308. I doubt it, but probably gonna get more accidental shinies again. That's just a thing that pretty much happens all the time. Right, I just hit synchronize Quirky and I see with Old Rod the Magikarp, I mean Goldeen and Seaking we've already gotten. Yeah, I could get a Quirky Magikarp as well, but just not with that delay then. The fishing delay is 1 to 5. I mean, I usually do it with 1 and I get results that yield me shinies, so. But yeah, the Quirky one is a bit earlier. That I mean, not by much, but still 2,000 frames. Dungo was looking for blood for sale on eBay, but nothing. Sad. Ah, yes, it has to be pretty difficult being a vampire today, right? I would suggest going to hospitals if you want a lot of blood. Although, not sure what their vampire policy is. And without a good reason, which no, eating blood is not a good reason, or drinking it, probably not gonna get anything, unfortunately. Right, let me just go back to the Golduck, not Golduck, excuse me, Psyduck. Oh no, not Psyduck, excuse me, Golduck. Golduck is correct. So confusing, the names. Psyduck, it's called Psyduck, obviously coming from the root word here being psychic. But it's not a psychic type. It's just a mono water type. It just happens to learn psychic moves. It has Psy in its name, and it also has headaches and other things that commonly are associated to associated with psychic types, and yet it is not a psychic type. That can be very confusing. It still is after over 20 years of Pokemon. Okay, if I'm precise tonight, then I should definitely get the Golduck finally. That's a Psyduck. Calibration while at the Safari-Zone is very annoying, since to calibrate properly you need to see the stats of the Pokemon that you hit. And in the Safari-Zone, catching a Pokemon is not a given, since it relies on completely different catching mechanics, where you don't have a Master Ball, you don't have anything. I mean, you can bring your Pokemon that lowers HP and is a good catcher, but it's not going to do anything, because you're not allowed, at least you can't, you cannot, under any circumstances, use said Pokemon to weaken the wild ones, because that's not how the Safari-Zone works at all. So yeah, I mean, you can still do the calibration bit, be my guest, but I never do it, because it's just, more often than not, it's gonna flee anyway, and then, yeah. I mean, you could do it with the battle video method as well, and then always reset your frame. But I haven't gotten the battle video method to properly work. That's why I'm not using it. But once I do get around making it so that it works, and not just theoretically knowing about it, then I'll definitely use it as well. I'm going to Romania to fly to my relative. Oh yeah, Vlad the Impaler. Has some good shish kebab, I've heard. I mean, putting things like meat on a rod, that is also one of his many specialities. Yesterday, Italy lost, well, 0-1. But then again, from my understanding of how the point system works in that game, it's still nothing. No hope is lost. They could still qualify for the what is it, 16? Hopefully I will get the Golduck today. I don't want to go. I mean, Area 3, we've been at it for a couple of weeks now, maybe even months at this point. Time for some new shinies, don't you think? Do you think rock should hit electric for twice damage, since rock and ground are not the same, but they're the same kind of? No, I think the way it is now, that's okay, actually. If you go by that, then, like, every steel Pokemon should be immune to electric types, because they are a Faradaian cage then, and, I mean, generally speaking, a lot of metals are very good at, transferring electricity or electrons. Especially metals like gold and platinum, those are even especially good at it. So by that logic, by the scientific logic, then steel should be weak to electric, but they aren't. Or not weak, maybe immune? Like, what logic do you use? I get it with the ground type, they mean grounding, which is an actual phenomena. But it's Pokemon, I mean, poison should also be super effective against normal and fire as well. Have you tried holding your body between, like, on a... Just aim a flamethrower at you. That's gonna be super effective, definitely. But yeah, I think you get what I mean. Don't think changing that now would do any good. But one thing I would definitely do would be to buff the ice type. As in, it should also not only resist itself, the ice type should also resist water. And maybe it could even resist dragon. I mean, that wouldn't be too far off. Then at least you ice types also become a good switch-in against dragon moves. And they become better. I mean, I know with the way things are going in Generation 9, ice seems to be a much better type now, which is nice. And I didn't say that on purpose because it rhymes with ice. Sometimes my brain, you know, like a broken clock, is right twice per day. Sometimes my brain comes up with good puns, even though I didn't really think about them consciously. Last call, 16 or around 16 teams who get first place and second go to it from the group stage. There's 6 groups each, 2 teams, so we have 12 in the last. 16 best, 4 teams in third place in each. Right, so let's see how this will continue. Is there a, like I forgot, is there a match going on today? Probably weird to you, but I don't watch television at all. Not since since I was 14 actually, I stopped watching TV. Group go to the last 16, then they play quarterfinals and then semifinals and then final. Yeah, that makes sense. Right, who's at it tonight? Oh jeez. I just gotten a friend of mine sent me a pizza he did in the oven and it's burned. Like the edges are black. Yeah, that's burned. Yikes. Oh well. That is what happens when you buy cheap oven pizza or just frozen pizza. You never know how, you know, sometimes it says at that wattage and that time in the oven or in the microwave, but sometimes it depends on what kind of oven or what kind of microwave you have. Sometimes it turns out to be too hot or sometimes not enough. Very strange. Also really don't like that, but then again, my Italian ancestors would cry if I eat frozen pizza. Belgium versus Romania. Ah, okay. Oh boy, if we're gonna hear, I mean, where I am at right now, usually it's okay, but if Belgium wins, there's going to be honking because it's a neighborhood country of Luxembourg, and if they win, you know, that's just a classical European tradition of honking because the football team that you are for won. A very old tradition. Hated by non-football fans everywhere. No, that is not what I'm looking for. Belgium is winning at the moment, but still half-time. So I assume they already got at least one goal. For now it's quiet outside. But then again, people, either they watch the game at home, or in usually what you see in Europe, which isn't really... Oh, what am I doing? Stupid things again. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing that again. Sorry about that. What I was trying to say before I did a stupid thing was... in European countries, many European countries, when either the Euro Cup or the World Cup is going on, and with that I obviously mean the football World Championship, people either watch at home, or, which is sometimes not really that legal, some cafes or restaurants, what they are doing is that they project the game onto a wall, or they just have a very large TV inside, and then people watch it like that. And apparently, I mean, technically it isn't legal, but no one really cares here. And for a lot of Europeans, it's kind of a very important tradition to go with your mates to the sports bar and watch the match, or just a public viewing. I mean, there's even car cinemas, car movie theaters that they just play the games. I think most Belgian fans went to Germany to watch that. Yeah, that would make sense, definitely. So I wouldn't hear that. But other than that, usually in the streets of Europe, you definitely sometimes don't have to look up the results, because I can tell if I see people waving the flag of said country, then I know. Don't even need to look it up. And what people also do is they put like little flags on their cars, or they hang a flag off from their window. That's also very common here. For now, pretty quiet the stream. I can't believe it's already July soon. Jeez, where's time going? It's kind of getting weird, honestly. That time flies quicker and quicker and quicker. I know that the way humans experience time is logarithmic, but still, it's... I don't know where this is I don't like where this is going. Football is a very funny game. Japan beat Spain and Germany at the World Cup, then Iraq beat Japan. Oh yeah, what was it again? Luxembourg beat Switzerland in one match, and Switzerland beat Spain. That's where Spain became world master. And then people joked, yeah, Luxembourg beat someone who beat the world masters, and well, okay, it doesn't really exactly work like that, but it's still funny to think about. So I assume it's the same thing, but with Iraq. So it's only you and my husband and someone else who doesn't seem to be using the chat much. Where are my people? Probably doing something else. Tomorrow is the national holiday of Luxembourg, which I never really partake in, to be honest. And this is a shiny Psyduck, of course. I knew this is gonna happen. Alright, what do we have time-wise? It's... I'll find the stream, 19 minutes. And we already have a accidental shiny What do you have? A level 31, alright. Could be this. And we got it. Oh, okay, that's fair. Not too excited. Oh, I could also have this one though. That's the thing. I literally couldn't see the difference even if I had everything because they're completely identical. There's literally no difference between any of them except for the level. And even then with calibration you wouldn't know. So I'm checking which other okay, I think this one is too late. What's the other level 31? I saw you somewhere here. I think this is the frame that I've hit, not the earlier one. So I'm gonna use that as calibration, and then I'm gonna put the Psyduck onto the PC because I don't need it right now, and I have a lot of them. Alright, so hopefully I'll get it now. And here we go. Do you know that is the calmest dog ever? Chihuahuas, trust me, they won't bite at all. Is that one of your funny jokes, Amit? Because, I mean, I've met Chihuahuas before. And I don't know what it is, but I think that's what happens when you put the temperament of a wolf into a body that small. Because, man, do they have an attitude, these little things. Chihuahuas are constantly angry. And the funny thing is, even if they kind of bite you, it doesn't really hurt. Or are these fake bites? I don't know. But yeah, they're really, really small, yet very aggressive, very loud sometimes. Can't help but laugh, but I do remember something my husband keeps telling me. It's that Chihuahuas are often very afraid and nervous because they're being treated as little toys. And that what is making them so angry, which I would understand. And yeah, I know you were joking, but there's a video of a man who talks about how relaxing it is to pet his chihuahua, and the chihuahua is just constantly angry and barks and bites him, but it doesn't hurt at all, so it's a very funny video. Maybe you've seen it as well, Amit. Alright, Golduck. Oh, did you see the thread that I started on the Discord server? Because in the future I want to do a Regi shiny challenge. It's where I try to get all the Regis in Sapphire as a shiny within one stream. Kind of a challenge to see, can I do it, can I pull it off? And they're gonna be square shinies. And I definitely want to put that stream on a day and during a time where a lot of people will be able to see it. So yeah, it's on my on the community tab of my channel, but also on the Discord server. For anyone who is either tuning in now or who is watching this later when it isn't a stream anymore, but a video on demand. Right, 1 minute remaining. I think for the magic I'm gonna go with a quirky one. That won't take as long. was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, I found out I can force Arthur into eating horse food, and it will cause him to throw up. So I went to the most high class place ever, and I eat it and it threw up. Oh. Wait, so that always happens when you feed him horse meat? He throws up? Because he doesn't see horses as meat, I guess. Sees it as a companion or a pet. Which is fair. Okay, that's nothing like what I would want, but I'll keep the calibration for now. But yeah, already a shiny. I mean, another Psyduck, of course. I don't know, it's getting ridiculous, but one of these days I should get that Golduck. At least I want it to appear as well. Birds are singing outside, how sweet. But I do want some. I mean, it is weather technically. Yeah, exactly, brain. It is summer technically now, astronomically speaking. But I don't know. The weather is like not reflective of the season that we're in. Horse food like food you've fed animals, not yourself. What? Oh, horse food. Horse feed. Okay, okay. Now I get it. 'Cause horse food? Okay, yeah. Now I get it. What you would give to the horse. Usually. Not horse meat in and of itself. I made... so many girls back then were really angry with me because I said I like horse meat, but... They said that was how dare you eat horse? But I mean, someone from India where culturally speaking cows are very well regarded. They could say how dare you eat cow? And I've also eaten a lot of cows in my life. I don't know if I want to know if you put them all in a line. I think it would be a very long line. I mean, I have to admit that, but how come eating a horse is non-ethical and yet a cow is? Like, inherently, no animal is more important than the other. And I wouldn't eat dog or cat, but I do know in some countries these animals get eaten. It just in general, I don't like eating carnivore meat. It's not good. At least... Yeah, usually not a fan of it. I prefer herbivore meat. Also because of all the, of course, if you eat carnivore meat, it's often less healthy because of all the... I mean, you get the nutrients, but also some of the more toxic things it carries. And eating herbivores in that regard is much better. Of course, you could also go vegan, but I just can't do it. But if I have vegans in, like, for example, a birthday party or my marriage, I definitely am looking... I actually always ask for the caterers to also give a vegan option, because... Even though I'm not vegan, that doesn't mean that I have to force vegans to be non-vegan, which I don't. Watch Ninjago movie today, and let me just say it's the most racist movie about comedy is gold. Is it racist though? I mean, what someone calls racist might just be not it. It really, I mean, has become somewhat of a buzzword. Unless you come with actually a... Oh boy. This is going to happen. We're gonna have so many blue ducks tonight. Okay, what is it this time? Level 23. And bye-bye! Alright, 23. Oops, that was not my intention. Okay, 23. This one. Yeah, I think it's this one. That makes the most sense. I'm just gonna assume it is, and I will proceed with said calibration. So 30, we have one that half an hour in, and we have the second shiny, and it ran away. Not that I mind, I mean... I have enough of those. Lord tells his father, Gamadon, you ruined my life. Gamadon said, how could I have ruined your life? I wasn't even there because he left him when I was a baby. Well, that was the evil dude who just retired, right? Isn't that the same franchise? I mean, that's the context that I have, which isn't much to go on, to be fair. MacBike is really... I mean, Mac is right. Right here. I mean, these NPCs that always move around, they definitely don't make things easier. But one of these days I should get the Golduck. Hopefully it will be tonight. I mean, come on, I don't want to be in Area 3 for much longer. There's so much interesting stuff in Area 5 waiting for us. Even if we surf, there's Whooper, there's Meryl. I mean, I already have a Meryl, but why not? And Quagsire, can I get one? No? Not even a quirky one? Alright, for a Quagsire, I would have to use the battle video method, it seems. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get it. But other than that, Sunkern, Mareep, Apom, Spinarak, Hoot Hoot, Snubble, Stantler, and Gligar. That's a very pretty interesting selection. And those are also Pokemon that you usually don't get in Hoenn at all. So definitely worth it. And I mean, I get them as shinies. What more could you possibly want, right? Movie is not canon, more trolling than a real movie. Okay. Okay, I see. Everything has to have a extended universe now, though. Like cinematic universe, more like cinematic multiverses. Do you know the feeling when you get a sunburn and then a week later when it's healed, the skin starts to peel off? I unfortunately gotten a sunburn last Saturday, while ironically enough doing solar observations. Like, we did solar observations with solar telescopes, and yeah, I was just applying usually I apply sunscreen every single day, even in the winter when I'm going out, because one, my skin is just naturally very pale. I'm a skin type 2 for those of you who really want to know, so that's blondes. But I also have vitiligo, so that means there's spots on my body that are basically albinistic, so even whiter than white. And my hands are essentially completely albinistic. And yeah, that sunburn, that really hurt. That was it. Jesus, my hand was red like a lobster, like a cooked lobster for a week. So next time I know I have to just very hastily applying sunscreen that's not enough, that doesn't suffice. Lesson learned. And now it's itchy. You know, where the sunburn used to be, that's where it becomes itchy, and then you have skin peeling off. Usually doesn't really happen a lot to me. Because I'm very strict with sunscreen, and I never go outside too much, at least during certain hours where the sun is at the zenith, where the highest risk for sunburns are for a person like me. But I mean, yeah, thanks, sun. I explained your properties to people. I explained your facts about you to children. They were all very excited. They could see you. They could look at you without going blind. And then this is how you repay me. I gotta get a sunburn. Also got one on the nose, which is long gone. But the first day of the sunburn, I joked to my mom. I said, I think Santa might want to hire me. Because what's the reindeer called in English with the red nose? Because I think it has a different name in many languages. But that magical reindeer with the red glowing nose could get his job. That was trying to see humor in the situation. Reason why I call the movie Resist, because Garmadon evil form is black, and one of the moments Sensei Wu put him in a cage that he go in. Sensei Wu said, I don't know this cage monkey. Oh, okay, yikes. Yikes indeed. Very much yikes. Yes, the birds are really not sure if you can hear it. Probably not, but I do hear them here. Birds are very loud. I mean, it is, after all, 10 p.m. or 22. Usually the birds are sleeping by now, but I guess now with the summer solstice, the nights are getting shorter. And tomorrow is the national holiday of Luxembourg, even though I don't know, we never celebrated that much. I'm not really interested in military parades. God, my hand is so itchy right now. That's why I got the sunburn. It's jeez. Right, 30 seconds. Shouldn't be too long. But pretty interesting how quiet it is. It seems like the weekday streams get more views than the weekend streams. Usually it was the other way around. Funny how that works. Alright, let's see. Come on, give me Golduck. No, I don't want this. It is, after all, only one single frame. I'll definitely try again and again and again. But I might also advance to areas 5 and 6. And then maybe I can go back to 3 and 4 again. But especially in area 4, I really want that freaking Heracross. Took me way too long. I mean, for it to appear, that already took a while. But of course, the first time it appeared, unfortunately, the pink bug decided to run, which is not nice. Then again, this is the Safar-Zone. Can't really control it. I mean, I even gave it some good food, but no. Decided that wasn't worth its time. Fortunately, you cannot RNG manipulate that part of the RNG. If that ever comes out, I think I'm gonna do that, because that would make things even easier than just RNG it so that it stays. Fun fact, did you know black clothes absorb the hot energy of the sun? Yes, black absorbs most of the energy of the sun, or just light in general. And that's why black things heat up more in the sun, or just in light than... I mean, white would be the opposite. That's why in some countries, like in Greece, where they have so many houses, they're all white, so that they don't heat up too much in the sun. That makes perfect sense. That's why I try to avoid wearing black in the very warm summer. But I don't like wearing white either. Just because, I mean, I'm already very white. So, I don't know, I'm advised also by fashion consultants to not wear white too much. Doesn't go well with being a very pale blonde. But fortunately, colors like blue and pink I can wear really well. Yellow, not so much. And orange, I'm not a fan of wearing those. Orange only in combination with a flashy pink or magenta or something like that. But not on its own. Wonder if James is going to be able to make it. He landed safely in Hamburg, or Hamburg as they would say. Just a matter of the internet working correctly in his hotel room. There's a funny story I was saying why people love black color. It's very sad and dark. People should feel positive. My sister was like, look at your clothes color. I was like, oh yes, about that. Oh, did she comment on you wearing black all the time? I mean, I also have black clothes, but I tend to be a very colorful person as well. Inside and outside, I like to wear flashy colors. Because I like them. They give me energy, you know? But if you want to be goth, go ahead. I'm not telling what people want to wear. And that is not a shiny. I think I'll go without the calibration for now. Come on, I want that. You wear black and white. I mean, black and white are very easy colors to combine with other colors as well. So I actually advise everyone to at least have a black, like a mono black t-shirt, or a mono white, maybe mono black pants, mono white pants, because they just go with so many other colors. Can't really go wrong with those two. One other color that you can really combine well with a lot is beige. I'm just generally not much of a fan of beige. But if you have blonde, long hair like me, it's already, I mean, the color scheme is very close to that. So that's why I don't tend to have a lot of beige clothes. I don't like beige in and of itself. Your favorite color is gray. Gray is also a color that you can combine really well, especially with some very poppy, very harsh, shocking colors. And you put gray right next to it, it just makes the bright color even brighter and makes it stand out more because of the contrast. But it also makes the gray look more cool, refined, stylish. Hard to explain, hard to put into words, but if you played around with colors in art, you definitely know what I mean. Also in interior design, you can really, if you're like me and you like hot pink, you like magenta, you like fuchsia, you can just paint one wall that color, and then with gray, like the other adjacent wall gray, that would work. So you can divide the pink up a bit if you wish to do so. I mean, these colors are very, very easy to combine with. I always call them combinational colors. That's not an official term, that's just... I'm not a fan of just wearing all black. I have worn all pink though, I've done that. But I mean, that is just me at this point that's just how I've been since forever. Oh jeez, I'm shedding like a snake here, where I had the sunburn. I mean, glad to see my body is making new skin, but for some reason, well, at least I know why, but it's very itchy. And there's a spider on the hunt again. We have a neighborhood spider on the window. And it always comes out like she spun her web in front of the window. On the outside. And that spider is pretty clever. Always when it's night or very late and we turn on the lights, it attracts moths and other insects, and then like every night she has a feast. It's a second generation, like her mom did the same thing last year. It's cute. I'm okay with having spider neighbors. And what do I get? I get a shiny Psyduck. Oh boy. And this time it's level 27. Okay. And you're still with me. You're 27. I think it's this one. I'm always so close and yet so far. So let's see if this ducky stays with me. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Second shiny Psyduck. Alright. You know what would be nice? A Golduck for once. I mean, seriously, this is my... I don't know how many freaking shiny Psyducks I can possibly get. Hey there, Shakru-Khan. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Yeah, I've gotten 2 shiny... those 2. Although I'm hunting for a Golduck, not a Psyduck, but Oh well. Try again. Wasn't the first attempt maybe the first attempt that you've seen of the stream, but yeah, it is pretty cool if you enter the stream right as I'm catching a shiny. Definitely hoping for the Golduck now though. I want to be done with area 3. I want to go to the other areas, 5 and 6. They have shinies that you haven't seen before. And they also have some shinies that I might want to use. There's a lot of shinies in that area, or Pokemon, that learn, or what's the English name again for that attack that gives, Baton Pass, that's what it is. Yeah, Baton Pass is something very useful. Also if you're hunting legendary shinies, where you can just pass boosts on, or a substitute or something like that. I'm definitely gonna use, I mean, Leddyba and Girafarig and all these, they're competitively not good. But if I have these shinies, I want to use them. I'm definitely gonna use them for that, for set purposes. What else is there? Apom also learns that. Leddyba learns it. What else? I've written down a whole list. As in what I plan on. Hang on. So yeah. Apom, Leddyba, Girafarig, and I could even use a Pluzzle. I mean, I have a shiny Pluzzle, multiple in fact, but if it learns Baton Pass, that would definitely help me. Some of these shinies that I'm gonna hunt up pretty hard to get. I mean, the Kyogre and Sapphire, I'm just gonna master ball that one. I have to be really honest with you guys. First of all, it's easy. Second of all, the ball fits so perfectly well with the Kyogre, the shiny Kyogre. I wouldn't even want to use any other ball. I mean, Master Ball for that one it is. But for Reggie-Eyes and especially the Southern Island Latios, it's gonna be a tough... Yeah, it's gonna be a tough battle. I mean, I did it before in Emerald and I succeeded in getting a shiny. But still, I did fail it twice before because it struggled. And that's why I came up with the whole strategy with using, you know, changing the items that attack. Tricking it so that it has a Lepa Berry, so that it doesn't struggle too quickly. All that these shenanigans. Would be nice if I had a Baton Pass team, basically, where I could chain boosts and all that. So I'm working on that. That should work. And then more shinies, right? And some of them at least get a use and I don't rot in my PC boxes for all eternity. And of course, if you want one of these shinies, remember that it's possible to get them. I have home. Or if you do not want them through home, but you want them like generation 4, we would need to use Pretendo, but that does work. So hey there, Kaiser Kamazin, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Shout out to one of my Patreons, Kaiser Kamazin. For now, 3 Oh, for a second I was like, oh my god, that's it, but no. Got my hopes up for a second. till now 3 shinies, none of them Golduck, all of them Psyduck. 2 of them I've gotten, 1 escaped. And I'm still looking for the Golduck, hasn't shown up yet. Well, I mean, a Golduck has shown up just now, but that's not a shiny. That's 200 IQ using Trick and that berry. Yeah, I mean, I was just so angry about it struggling, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm just gonna give it a leper berry, and I use Trick. Unfortunately, you can't do the same, like, in infinite leper berry trick that you could use in Sun and Moon. Fortunately, that doesn't work here. I did try it, it doesn't work. But you kind of, I mean, if I'm honest with you, there's a lot of online shiny fails where it's always it is the fault of the hunter or the YouTuber or the streamer, because they just don't put any thought into preparing. I mean, sometimes you need to be prepared, especially if it's a legendary, then you better prepare. I mean, I have had a fail as well with a Love Disc where I forgot that Love Disc has a self-damaging move. Okay, that has happened to me before, but I mean, that's Love Disc. And it's RNG manipulation. I mean, I could still get the same frame and then I have the shiny, you know, but with what most streamers are not doing RNG manipulation, they are doing it the old-fashioned way. And I mean, are they not afraid of failing it like that? I did the same thing when I was hunting the shiny Latias in Ultra Moon, in the post-game. I had a hidden ability executor, so that's Harvest, with Switcheroo or Trick and a Leper Berry. And it also has the ability Skill Swap, so that the Latias got the ability Harvest, and once the Leper Berry got used up, it would respawn the Leper Berry, so it would never struggle. That's a fantastic trick you can use in the newer generations, so that the wild shiny never struggles. And if you don't do that with such shinies, then kind of is your fault as well, isn't it? Aiming for Teddy Ursa that has hidden power ghost, but if it's shiny, that's a bonus. Oh, are you breeding for one, or are you just looking for one in the wild? Yeah, I think there's several Teddy Ursa or just Ursa ring sets that required to have hidden power ghost. Well, at least you could use Shadow Ball instead. Or maybe for some reason you just want hidden power ghost, which is... that's fair. Teddy Ursa is also going to be hunted in future Sapphire streams. I think it's in area 6. I don't remember if it is one of them, 5 or 6, but I think it's 6 where we can get it. Okay, felt like a good input. Let's see. Nah, that's not a good input. Oh, it doesn't have Shadow Ball in Generation 3? Ah, I see. I thought it did, but then again, it always changes per generation, you know, in, like a Horsey, if you want a Horsey to have Dragon Breath, you need to, breed that, or else you're not gonna get it. I just tried out something. I had a shiny Smeargle that I've gave it some moves that Eevee can learn, like Curse. Or at least it gets it via Egg move. Curse and Flail and something else. So that would definitely be something interesting. I'm definitely gonna breed shiny eggs in Emerald if I get that to work. And a shiny Eevee that can use Baton Pass, that would be very neat to have. I mean, shiny Eevee in and of itself is a nice thing to have. I mean, no further explanation necessary. It's one of the most popular or wanted shinies ever. I mean, imagine in one, if you have a shiny Eevee in Emerald, you can clone it. Or you could make more because RNG manipulation. And then you can have every single evolution as a shiny. What more could you possibly want, right? It's not a bad deal. So Eevee is definitely gonna be the first one I'll try to get as a shiny egg in Emerald. I have read shiny Eevee before, just never with RNG manipulation. I always did it the Masuda method way. And once I accidentally gotten a shiny Eevee, I just wanted a normal Umbreon and a Moonball, but it just happened to be that the 5th egg was a shiny Eevee, and that was pretty nice. That was a very nice surprise. Shiny Eevee is cool, shiny Umbreon is my fav. Yeah, shiny Umbreon is really nice. Shiny Vaporeon is my favorite, but I mean, I am clearly biased towards anything magenta or pink. But I have a shiny Umbreon now in a Moonball. What more could you possibly want, right? I also have a shiny Umbreon onesie that I sometimes wear when I go to convention and it's cold. It's very fluffy. I have the same in for a normal Espeon and a normal Piplup. So a onesie, one-piece thing that you wear. Never wear them during the summer because you're gonna die. It's just so warm inside. But for a winter convention or somewhere where it's pretty chilly, it's ideal. And it's an easy cosplay. I just put that on and I'm pretty much done. Society, if there weren't any barely distinguishable shinies, yeah. Who's cool? Cause me, I don't know. Right, come on, give me the good stuff, game. Give me the good stuff. This is good, okay, but it's not what I want. Jeez, again, shiny Psyduck. Again. 1 hour in. About 1 hour in. And what do we have? Level 22 this time. And oh, I was about to say you. No, bye bye, level 22, shiny. Psyduck, it was nice seeing you. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's try to determine the frame that I've hit. I don't think I've hit this frame. This is very early. Let's see what other 22 level 22 frames I've gotten. This one. Well, I guess this one then. That would be a bit late, but still, that's more accurate, I think, than the previous one. So let's use this as calibration. And proceed. Me, I'm the frost god. Yeah, he's cool, not me. Add this to the stream lore. I'm a god of wind and frost. Sadly, Jack Frost is a common misnomer. My name is actually John Frost. There we go with the Johning again. So you like the cold then? I'm more of a summer person. And with more, I mean I sit here and want the summer to actually show up, because for now we've gotten windy, stormy, and rainy in Europe. But not really summer vibes. And I like spring as well. I'm very stereotypically girly in a lot of things, but I'm not the kind of pumpkin spice latte I like autumn girl. Because why like, I mean, autumn is kind of, I don't know, it's cold. It's not as nice as spring. I mean, it is indeed nice with the leaves and all that, and it has Halloween. Halloween rocks, I have to say. But still, I mean, the only bad things that I don't like about, like, summer is mosquitoes. Yeah, generally a lot of bugs. And the fact that lately summers are more like a extreme subscription to the sun. If that makes sense. Like, oh, you want summer? You're gonna get it for 3 days, but in these 3 days you're gonna get cooked. That kind of summer used to be different. It's so hot here, I'm being cooked alive, thank God for air conditioning. Yeah, you know, a lot of people in Europe do not have air conditioning in their houses, because for a very long time we never needed it. But now I'm trying to convince my parents and just older people in Europe to maybe install or just invest in air conditioning, because that's gonna be needed soon. I think that's gonna be a very good investment, especially with the subsidies you get for solar panel installation. Then you could even have air conditioning where the electricity comes from these solar panels. What more could you want? That's pretty neat. And maybe also a heat pump, because that's just for efficiency's sake. I mean, I would do that if I had a house and had money to invest, which the apartment I'm in right now does not. I mean, I can't invest in anything. It's up to the landlady, and she hasn't done anything of the sorts. So once I should own my own property, I'm definitely gonna invest into air conditioning and a heat pump and solar panels. That's just gonna be a thing that I will definitely need, especially when I'm older and I don't take the heat that well, because I'm just an old lady. Don't want to die of a heat stroke. It's not how I want to go out. I don't want my kids or my I don't know, my ancestors seeing me like that. And I don't want them to suffer in the heat. But it's gonna get worse. Already there's problems with any coastline houses in many parts of the world where they don't sell. Or the insurance rates are very high, because they just know with climate change it's gonna get worse. Bye bye, ducky. Summers have always been hot here, sadly, although they have gotten considerably hotter over the past few years. Past few years. Past few years is how it should be. Same here, but except for the fact it hasn't been hot here Usually I had summers like 30 degrees, that was really hot, but 30 degrees Celsius, of course, not Fahrenheit. Which I'm too lazy to calculate into Fahrenheit. I always forget what you need to multiply. I always forget the number because I never use Fahrenheit, like ever. Either it's Celsius or Kelvin. Kelvin is very easy to calculate. It's a simple subtraction. No factor necessary. You don't need to multiply anything. But lately, when we have summer, it's like it's raining and we have very big storms. And on the days where the sun does show up, it's gonna be you just like a, I don't know, like a reptile under a burning light. Not good for my skin, definitely. Then depending on where you are in Europe, it's either not really, I mean, you just end up sweating way too much, or it's somewhat tolerable, especially if you're close to beaches where you get the ocean winds. That does help cool you down, but in some parts of Germany or just France where everything is landlocked for at least 150 kilometers, if not more, and you're in the midst of a city and the concrete and everything, it's just, whoa, that's hell. That's really, these summers, they have been getting worse, definitely. But I do realize that the US is a bit further down along the northern hemisphere, so obviously you're gonna have warmer weather. I mean, you have deserts, literally. We don't have that in Europe. I mean, the Nevada desert is actually a desert. I've never been to a desert ever in my life. Although, if I'll have to visit one, I'd have to be very cautious. Already very pale skin. I don't tan naturally. The darkest my skin becomes is a kind of a shade of beige, and that's it. And then due to my vitiligo, there's spaces or just spots on my body where I'm essentially an albino. And it's even whiter than white, and yeah, you really need to pay attention. The desert wouldn't be for me, but at least I think once in my life I would like to see, you know, the Great Pyramids, that desert. But from what I've heard from others going to Egypt, apparently it's not really that nice of a place. The merchants, they tend to be really, I mean, they don't take a no for a no, and apparently they kind of harass you, they follow you. That would be really annoying. Especially if you're a tourist who looks ethnically completely different from Egyptians. And I mean, it's a flying thing, and I hate flying. If I could do it, then with a ferry. And here we go again. Shiny Psyduck level 22. That's the exact same frame I hit earlier. What is going on? Not this one. It's this one. And you're still with me? Okay. Here we go with the calibration again. Oh, you decided to stay. How kind of you. And another shiny ducky card. Not that I wanted one. I do want a Golduck, but I do wonder how many Psyducks does it take until we get the Golduck. And I don't want an answer to that question because it's probably gonna be a lot. So this this one, and this one. A level 31, a level 27 one, and a level 22. And it would be nice getting a Golduck for once. Jeez. Geographical height doesn't necessarily determine the biomes present, spare for at the poles of the Earth. I mean, at the same latitude, they're both swamps, desert, and plains. Yeah, of course, it doesn't have to be the main factor, but it usually is a big contributor to how the biome is gonna be. If you see where you are at, the latitude, I think where you are at, Kaiser Kamazin would come close to, I think, Italy or something like that. Or Spain, Portugal. Which is... Those are countries with warm weather. We just don't have deserts. To be fair, the Antarctic is also a desert. A desert doesn't need to be warm. That's also one thing, one part of the Earth I want to visit before I kick the bucket. Before I'm pushing daisies. Before I leave this plane of existence. I definitely want to see the Antarctic, and I definitely want to see emperor penguins up close. It actually is equivalent with Italy, however generally it's very cold where I live. But you definitely get cold winters and really warm or even hot summers, is that correct? Southern Italy, there are palm trees and such. Well, we have a ton of conifers. It's really the Mediterranean sea that determines the climate for Italy. Yeah, that as well. I haven't been to southern Italy in a eternity. Really need to go, but of course can't go if you're broke. Like I wanna eat a sweet cannoli in Sicily again. They're so freaking good. I don't know if any one of you ever had one. I can definitely recommend getting a cannoli. Really, really good. Especially if you're a sweet tooth like me. Very cold, damp winters with hot and dry summers. Oh, dry summers. To be fair, damp summers, we get those in Germany, and yeah, they're not really nice. If you visit the US, I would recommend visiting where I live. It's very barren here, and sadly people are afraid of foreigners here, even if they can speak English. It's very sad. Oh, I see. I thought that maybe, and I know this sounds ridiculous, I don't believe in that, but I think that I would get an unfair advantage because I'm a white blonde woman, which is problematic, of course. Not that I think that is warranted. That's definitely not what I'm trying to get at, but I thought that I At least I wouldn't get into as much trouble or distrust as some of my black friends would. Which is unfair and BS, of course. Wouldn't, not would. Still, I understood. Yeah, I actually want to visit the US ones. There's a lot of places I want to visit. The US though is gigantic. It's so freaking huge. Like the thought of me driving 10 hours and still being in the same country just baffles me. My European brain is not ready for that. When I drive 10 hours, I already crossed like 5 or 4 borders in Europe. And in America you could drive, or the US specifically of course, you could drive for 10 hours and you'd still be in the same country. Of course not in the same state, but still that it would be definitely weird. Culture shock for me. I mean, you're far more likely to be accepted here honestly than most people. But if you mentioned you were from Luxembourg, then things would get weird. If they even know what Luxembourg is, like so many Americans I've talked to who were just tourists that needed help in Europe, usually what they say, oh, you're a local, right? And I have to say, no, I'm from Luxembourg. Oh, is that around here? No. Like, where is it? And they just take a map of Europe and they don't see it. Oh, it's that small country there. Wait, is that a country? Most of them don't even know that exists. Kind of funny though, the reactions that you get. Stay on the coast, honestly, they're more liberal and way more accepting of people. I've heard so. Yeah, there's a lot of coastal cities that I want to see as well. I mean, New York, I do want to see New York at least once. And Florida as well. Even though I know it has some very... I mean, I don't know what's wrong with Florida, but if you Google Florida man or Florida woman, you are getting a onslaught of very strange cases where Floridan citizens had some, let's say, very creative ideas, to put it very mildly. They wouldn't know what Luxembourg is, but they would know it's not in the US. Yeah, I mean, you guys have small towns that are probably larger than my whole country. I don't think that would be wrong to say that. And then funnily enough, there's countries in the EU that are even smaller than Luxembourg, like Andorra, that's half of Luxembourg, and Monaco, that's even smaller than that, as well as Liechtenstein. Really small countries. San Marino and the Vatican also are even smaller. Vatican, you can basically do a tour of the whole country in, I think, 30 minutes. But I haven't been there, at least not as a toddler or a baby. I know there's places where I've technically been to, but I don't think being a toddler or a baby when you're there really counts. Because you're not consciously aware of what's happening. Your parents just happened to be there and they had you with them. Micronations, often forget they exist simply because they are barely visible on most maps. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It is somewhat funny. No. No Golduck, come on. I mean, I still could, I guess, go ahead and do the other Safar-Zone areas. I mean, we have been at area 3 and 4 for a long while now. And I want to see some new shinies, you know. And no, with new shinies, I don't mean shiny Oddish and shiny Psyduck and all of these. But definitely things like a Gligar, a Houndour, all the rest that you get. It's a lot of Johto shinies. I'm very hyped for a shiny Miltank. I definitely know what I'm gonna call that one. I'm gonna call it Luxley. That's just perfect. Also, another funny thing is if you drive with a car with a Luxembourgish license plate somewhere far away from Luxembourg in Germany or in France, people ask if you're from Lithuania. And I'm like, no, that's not. The L is Luxembourg, not Lithuania. And even Germans and French people, they should know that, I mean, we are one of their bordering nations. We are their neighbors, and yet some of them, they don't know what Luxembourg is, which is weird to me because the way we went about it in school was we looked at the neighboring countries as well, and I assume they don't do the same. I mean, I would say at least once in your life you're gonna hear from Luxembourg in Germany. It doesn't matter if you're in Bavaria or not, or like the very southern parts of France. It's very strange that they've never heard of that. And they thought, what's Luxembourg? I thought that's Lithuania. No. That's LT, if I'm not mistaken. That's also a funny thing in Europe. See so many cars with different license plates. And usually, if it's from a EU country, you see the 12 stars. With a blue background, of course, very classic. And then you have a abbreviation for the country. So, for example, DK would be Denmark, F would be France, N would be Netherlands, D would be Germany, because in Germany is called Deutschland, which starts with a D. Belgium would be B. Switzerland, for some reason, is CH. That one, I don't understand why it is like that. A is not Andorra. A is actually Austria. And so on and so forth. You can actually deduce pretty quickly where the car or where they're from. While how easily available information is now, and yet there have never been more uneducated people. Yes, because having access to information and critical thinking, those are two different things. You need both. All this has proven now to me is that you can have all the information in the world and you can make it easily accessible, but if the people using said information cannot think critically, then, well, is it really of that much help then? Is it really that useful? I think there's some problems technology cannot really solve, in the way that there's material or societal conditions that need to be fixed first in order for us to properly advance. Does that make sense? Switzerland is CH because it stands for Confederation Helvetica, which is the legal name of Switzerland. Confederation Helvetica. That would explain a lot. Oh, you're right. Oh my god. You just taught me as a non-European something about Europe. Thanks. I didn't even know that. I wasn't aware of that. But I did read that Confederation Helvetica. I read that on a coin and also on some other things, and I know that sounds super stupid, but when I read Helvetica, I thought of the font. There's a font in Windows that is also called Helvetica. I thought it had something to do with that. But yeah, no. It's actually that. I thought they took that because in German, or at least Swiss language, they say Schweiz, which also has a CH, and I thought because the S was taken from Sweden that they took the CH instead, but I was wrong. Didn't even know the Confederation Helvetica flag. Thank you, I learned something new. And now I'm gonna let some random people know the same fact. No, that mystery has been solved. You're very knowledgeable about Europe. Yeah, I see. That's good. Yeah, I see you're not like a lot of, or the majority of Americans who don't even know where Africa is. Where they think, oh yeah, that's Africa, but Africa's not a country. Africa is a continent, and then they don't even know the difference between a continent and a country, which is, jeez, come on. I mean, I don't really blame the people that much. I guess I blame the schooling system. But yeah, pretty good. I mean, you do want to come to Europe once. You want to emigrate there, so having knowledge on Europe is definitely going to be a very good, big advantage. And maybe Flemish wouldn't be that hard for you, since Dutch, Flemish are very close. And from what I've read, apparently Dutch is one of the easiest languages to learn for a English native speaker. And Flemish's pronunciation isn't as complicated, I would say, than the Netherlands, the Dutch one. Strange, I know more about Europe than my own nation. Well, it's also strange, I know more about the surface of the moon than the oceans. But that's also because of the fact that the oceans are very complex. We have life there that already pushes up the complexity by a whole lot, and the surface of the moon basically doesn't really change much, and it's very sterile, so of course it's gonna be easier to know the facts about the surface of the moon. There's still parts of the ocean that we still haven't completely traversed through, so there's a lot of questions there as well. Probably haven't even discovered every single marine creature there is. Getting to the bottom of the ocean is just something that's very hard to do, since the pressure is so enormous. And here we have another shinies. Come on, I want a Golduck. This is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous now. I'm at it for almost 2 hours now, and still no shiny Golduck. And I've gotten another shiny. Oh boy. What do you have? Level 27. Alright, let me check. 27. I was pretty... This one or this one? I'm actually not sure. I'm gonna do calibrations with this one. And if that's not the right one, I'll do it with the other 27 one. That would be this one. So, but first let me put that shiny blue duck on the PC. So 4 shinies now. And they are all the very same identical Pokemon. Alright, saved, and let's do this over. Europe is fascinating, yeah, definitely. We have a very long history, I mean, you could go to every single museum and still not learn everything about Europe. One point I could tell you about all 20th century European geopolitics, but not anymore. Oh, who do you think you are, my husband? He also is like, oh, what's the geopolitics about that era? But it's good. I think history is not really being taught well, because we seem to not be learning from it, and it's scary. Or people just, for example, one thing that's really annoying when I try to have discussions or proper debates about politics, here we go again with politics, is that people seem to think that capitalism has existed since the dawn of humanity, which is not true. Something that has existed for, maybe scholars argue, for around 300 years. But just because we have money doesn't mean money does not equal capitalism. And that already there you just realize so many people don't know about feudalism, how that worked, or if you go even further with other systems that have evolved and that have fallen. It's really sad. It doesn't really get taught in school. At least my history was also, the one we have been taught in school was very limited. It's a shame. We definitely need to look more, like there's also so many atrocities that happen people have no idea about. I also learned about some of them, like how indigenous people are treated in some parts of the world, like Canada and the Americas in general, Australia. It's just, you're never taught this stuff, and you just end up learning about it because you're a very curious adult who spends too much time reading stuff either in books or on the internet. But it's just really, I don't know, I wish that would be fixed, definitely. 20th century European history decided caused a lot of the events we are living through today, especially in Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. That is true. And that's why it's sad that it doesn't really get taught, you know. No, we really went everywhere and messed so many things up. Don't know if I should be proud of being a European. I mean, to be fair, what my ancestors have done is not my fault, of course. But I definitely know that I'm from a very privileged position. Hey there, bug. No, don't land on me, please. How did you get past the spider? No, don't land on me. Why do they always land on me? You know, being an animal magnet sometimes has its downsides. Right, 10 seconds remaining. Hopefully I'll get the Golduck now. I'm really getting impatient with this. Let's see. And no, of course not. Okay, the last one was this. What's the other? Oh, this one. I'll try this one for calibration, just seeing maybe that will work as well. Maybe I'll get it then. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I might excuse me, I might mention this now. I will not be able to stream next Saturday, but next Sunday should be good. Oh, and next Friday that would probably also not work. Right. Don't forget the Mac bike if you want to have access to Area 3. It's pretty quiet today. Unfortunately, the James can't be here. Looks like there's a problem with the internet at the hotel he's at. One of the biggest failings with school is how little they teach history in general. Yeah, definitely. That was also part of my argument, absolutely. I mean, they taught us almost nothing about World War One, despite it being the event which decided practically everything that would happen on the world scale on the 21st century. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have been taught about World War One, even more about World War Two, but still not really satisfactory. I mean, there's so many more things that they could have shown us. We did learn about feudalism though. Although, yeah, I think there should also be financial literacy classes. Like, so many people go into massive debts for really trivial, stupid things. Oh, and just, I mean, my mom was born in 1954. And back then, when she went to school, they had a subject that was basically just how to run your household. Back then it was only girls that went to it, but well, if we had that course again, but for every gender. Because, I mean, it's not just the girls that need to know how to clean the toilet or cook. Essentially, every adult should at least know it to a certain degree. You don't need to be a master at it, you just need to be able to do it by yourself to a satisfactory degree, I would say. And that would be a good idea as well. I talk to so many people older than me, younger than me, and they just can't cook. They can't clean. They just can't do any of these life skills, and that's just, I mean, I don't blame them. I kind of blame their parents though, because you should teach your kids that. Or they probably believe that the school is gonna teach them that, but if the school does not do that, which is the case, then what? Because it's not good that we have so many adults who don't know how to adult. We also learned about feudalism, but barely. Yeah, not really socioeconomic distinctions, probably not. Or the caste system. Maybe that, and then that's it. When I see CEOs talking about company towns and people be like, oh, that's a good idea. And I'm like, have you ever read a history book about the same thing? Do you not know how horribly wrong that can go? And it will. Oh no, wait. That was not a good reset at all. It was very late. I'm doing that again. There we go. It's just, no, you don't want that. But because they don't know it, mistakes like these can happen again and again, you know? That's what I'm scared of. That's what I'm afraid of. If anything, it's just to tell us, look at how fortunate you are to not live under feudalism. To be fair, under feudalism, I would have a house, and it's pretty funny if you look at how long they worked under feudalism, because depending on where you were and what time period, you actually worked less in a feudalistic society than some people do today. And that's kind of, I mean, They also had the homeless back then, but wasn't as much of a wide-scale problem as it is today. Feudalism sucked, but yeah, work hours were less and you were guaranteed food by your lord lady, yes, and land and a place to sleep. And if the landlord or landlady messed up, it was not uncommon for the peasants to group together and then some heads would roll. Or maybe a certain villa would bust into flames. That would definitely happen. Doesn't really happen today. So in a way you sometimes even have more agency as a peasant. Not always, of course. I'm not trying to make this black and white. But the landlords or landladies at the time of feudalism, they definitely had an interest in keeping their peasants happy. Which is nowadays not so much. If anything, they're one of the big contributing factors why the economy is going to the dogs. Especially in Luxembourg, with rents being so super high. You have people that live in Luxembourg and they get a yearly salary of 100,000 euros. And that's usually, I mean, that's a nice salary. That's about 6,000 euros per month. And yet they can't live well because rent or the mortgage is just so freaking expensive and it eats up such a large chunk of their savings or their money that even with such a wonderful salary you can't even truly live well. That's insane to me. I think we are fortunate enough to not live under feudalism, but I wouldn't say capitalism is much better than all. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, because of capitalism, we now have microplastics everywhere. And even people who never had any concept of capitalism, like indigenous islanders, they still have microplastics in their systems. Economically, capitalism is way worse, but socially I would say it's a bit better. Yeah, I would say because we have, I guess because I mean, we do still have hierarchy though, so the caste system in and of itself has not perished yet. Even though some neoliberals would like you to think that it is that way, but it's not. Theoretically, we can decide our own rules now and have guaranteed rights. Yeah, theoretically, but practically, still not really that just. Oh, Golduck! Oh my goodness. This is getting ridiculous. I just want... Okay, goodbye. Oh my god, what was that, honestly? Like, what in the world? Alright, let's try that again. Oh boy, so many freaking... I mean, the only shinies... Like, how many shinies was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually... I'm writing them down. Because after the stream is done, I usually put a comment in the comment section with all the timestamps for the people, like for example James tonight. Or others like Alex who missed the stream and they want to see which shinies I got. Then that's a very quick way and convenient for my viewers. And we are at 7 shiny Psyducks now. That's absolutely ridiculous. I just want a Golduck. Come on. Haven't even started with the Magikarp yet. Don't think socialism is perfect, but as a socialist I would say prefer to what we have now. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect system. At least if there is, then probably it's not going to be made by humans. Maybe a hyper intelligence, be it biological or artificial, could do that. And even then I wouldn't say it's perfect. Maybe nigh perfect, but not perfect. Do you have a secret base in this game? Yes. Yes, I do. Actually, I can show it to you, definitely. After this reset is done, I could quickly show it if you like. It's on Route 115. It's in a tree. Might actually also change a few things in it. There's Reggie plushies that you can get, but you can only get them through an e-reader, so I'd have to use a GBA flash card that I have with that, because for the life of me cannot find a PAL Australian e-reader. They're all gone, and yeah. I don't think a Japanese or American one will work on a PAL GBA. At least I don't think it will. So if I want to do also the I'm a Blissey events, I'm gonna probably be needing my GBA flashcard that I thankfully have. I'm gonna see how that works. But yeah, if I could get myself a Reggie Ice or just a Reggie plushie that way. I have a secret base in every game. I think they're really neat. That was a nice feature back then. Also nice that you could basically also battle against them. And then you just, if you really wanted to use that to train, you could. For example, someone could make 6 Blissies that don't know any damaging moves. You could theoretically do that. That would help your the other person where you traded statistics with. That would definitely help in leveling up Pokemon. Alright. Let's see, let's see. Oh, you can't be serious. No, really. This is getting absolutely ridiculous now. This is absolutely insane. Bye-bye. Alright, level 30 it was. Is there another level 31? Here. And here. Good question which one I hit. But, yeah, I'll show you my... While Sasuke is here, I'm gonna show him my, my hidden secret base. Might as well. I think I did show it at one point during my streams, but I'll gladly show it again. Something about these streams always gets me talking politically. To be fair, I'm also like this in real life. I'm just so starved of good political debates, you know. Just so many people are absolutely not, like, you just realize they've never read anything serious on it. They've never gotten into theory at all. They don't know what mercantilism is. They don't know the difference between mercantilism and capitalism, for instance. And I'm just so freaking starved for a actual good discussion. That's when people like you come along, Kaiser comes in, and you know your S, and then then I'm happy to have one. So that's my secret base. Ta-da! Not much, I know, but this one goes like this. Let's see, do I have any big? I think I have. Oh, okay, it says it's the maximum that I'm at, so I have to take some decoration away maybe, but for the moment it looks like this. That's my secret base. Alright, let's hunt some shinies now. Need to make a here it comes meme for Psyduck. Yeah, at this point, I mean, this is really getting ridiculous. I mean, how many were that? 9, I think. Let me guess. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 8. 8 shinies. And none of them are Golduck. None of them. None. And if you kind of add all the hours of the streams in Area 3 together, where I'm basically trying for a Golduck, it's really getting ridiculous. I mean, come on, game. I just don't hit that frame. I just don't. I keep hitting the other frames. Looks dope, but shame it has to be surf base. I usually carry a surfer around all the time in the Hoenn games because surf is a good move to have. But yeah, it is kind of annoying that for some bases you need to basically have a surfer or a cutter or something like that in your team. Max bases you can have is 20, but you can register 10 max. That's a good question. I forgot what the maximum was, but I definitely have, I traded statistics back then, like over 2 decades ago, with some random kids that I haven't seen for a long time now. I don't even know where they are at. Are they still alive? Are they married with kids? No idea, but, I still got some random kiddos, secret bases here. It's pretty cool. One of them is called Eminem. It's pretty funny. Even have a Pokemon of his. That's one boy I once traded with, and he just had his name as Eminem. Never read political theory, surprisingly, but I'm wise enough to understand human nature and stay informed enough to make contextual assumptions as what ex-political concept is. Now that's actually also really good if you're able to do that. Read context and then understand how they are tied to each other. But unfortunately, not a lot of people seem to be able to do that, at least in my experience. And that's why when you go on politically, I'm like, okay, can't stop myself either, because I don't want to only discuss political things with my husband and him alone. Like, I need more people that are at least a bit educated on that topic, And it's not hard. I mean, there's so many, just as you said, Kaiser Kamazin, there's so many resources online now, more than ever. Well, yeah, I think with the shinies now, I think I'm gonna go to the other areas though. And if I don't get the Golduck now, I will definitely get back to it, but I kind of want to see the other areas. It's been for way too long. And I mean, who doesn't want shiny Gligar, shiny Ledibel, shiny, what else? Shiny Ursaring, shiny Houndour, shiny Sunkern will also be possible. Although Sunkern is really super weak. Oh, Golduck, where art thou? Come here. No. No Golduck for me. I think I'm gonna go for maybe a Magikarp soon. At least that one will be caught. Yeah. Good rod. Let's see. What about an old rod? Also will potentially yield a Goldeen. I mean, Goldeen I've already gotten in either this area or also area 2, which is here. So let's see where this goes. If I don't get the Golduck now, I'm gonna be hunting for a quirky Magikarp instead. And then maybe I'm at least gonna get that one. Usually Magikarp is also pretty easy to catch. It has a very high catch rate. I think the maximum that is allowed in the game. The Heracross, that will be definitely daunting tomorrow. Hopefully it will show up. But, that's another one that I keep missing. Just a very elusive frame. At least I've gotten it to show up once. Maybe it's gonna do the Pinsir route where for the first time I see it, it runs. Second time I see it, I actually catch it. Because that was also with Pinsir. I gave it a Pokeblock. And then it just ran away. Same with Heracross, first shiny Heracross. I definitely want to use that Heracross competitively as well, as in at the Battle Frontier. Heracross is a very strong mon in Generation 3. I mean, that what's it called? Oh, not Horn Attack, Mega Horn. That just one-shots any Latias or Latios out there. Even with defense investments, I think. Forget about it, just bye-bye. And I mean, this being my emerald, it's gonna be adamant, which is actually a very good nature to have for a Heracross. So hopefully I'm gonna get that one soon. And usually what I do with a lot of these shinies is I put them on XD. And then I do the 100 Mount Battle 100 Battle challenge with them. So they'll get the a very specific ribbon. That is a ribbon that a lot of people really want. You can't really get it anymore unless you do the that with Colosseum and XD. And it makes it also very special if you have it in the modern games. If you send a Pokemon like that out, it says something along the line of Victor of 100 Battles or something. So it has a title as well. on top of being shiny. So that's like extra bragging rights. Alright. Golduck? No, okay. Okay, I'm gonna reset just to change the Umbreon, put that one in the first place, since now I'm using a different synchronizer, quirky one. And then I'm gonna hunt for the Magikarp. Honestly think we are going into another dark age. I also have that feeling. Don't really have that much evidence, but it's just like an intuition, I guess, which is uniquely defined by all the accessible information, yet a lack of education because rich and powerful control that information. Exactly. Exactly. I completely agree with you, Kaiser Kamazin. It's an unnerving idea, but I think signs point towards it being a big possibility. I think it already is a possibility. It will just get even more pronounced as we go along. That's why I keep telling people, just because technology advances doesn't necessarily mean that the quality of life advances as well. I mean, usually yes, but with the things like how they are going now, I mean, so many things are just problems that we made up, basically. And we can't really fix them with technology. Is an old rod just called rod in German? No. No problem if it advances frames, because there's multiple Magikarp frames. So I'm okay with that. You just have to get lucky and hope it's one of the shiny ones. Still nothing? Come on. Oh, Magikarp. There we go. And now we wait. Funny, actually a very funny thing that happened yesterday. I got the Why Not. And that was the same day where I got a shiny, what's it called again? Not the Why Not's evolution in English. Wobbuffet. I got a shiny Wobbuffet on Pokemon Sleep. The exact same day yesterday where I got the shiny Why Not as well. Sometimes funny things like that happen. Although I don't think it has a cosmic significance. I don't believe in things like that. Coincidences just tend to happen. I mean, with so many billions of people doing things every day, they're bound to happen. I don't ascribe any ulterior, I don't know, not motives, but meanings onto that. Was thinking about that same thing earlier, actually. It's why how many unnecessary problems such as poverty exist solely because of human flaws. Yeah, it's just very scary. Or we just have solutions to problems. It's just we don't do them because they're not profitable. Like, no one has to be homeless or hungry. We could theoretically give everyone a house and enough food, but we don't, because it's not profitable. Like, imagine explaining that to an advanced alien civilization. They would lock the doors here, and like that's a ghetto to them. I'm pretty much yeah, I would say so. What a cosmically significant sign. You wouldn't know how many or at least I think you do, but I just know so many people who think coincidences like this is some kind of message from the universe. I'm like, no. Do you know how many? Oh, that can be a coincidence. Yes, it does. It can. Things like that happen. There's billions of humans. Come on. I'm really baffled by these new age beliefs. I don't know. Some kind of confirmation bias going on. You can believe whatever you want, but just that's a good fish, but it's not what I'm looking for. But I definitely know a lot of people who think that's somehow not a coincidence and it has to mean something when it really doesn't. I don't know, I just think people don't really have a good, do they really have a cognitive grasp on how random things work, or just coincidence in general? People don't realize that if you go back in time 3 billion years ago and you would reset, that you would probably get wildly different creatures from today. I don't think people really know how, like, the path we're on right now, that it's just a chain of coincidences. And also the anthropic principle, of course. It's like the puddle of water. It forms and it thinks this is made for me, even though it's the water that forms because of the puddle and not vice versa. You know, that philosophical debate. Just a lot of people don't seem to really understand that. That's why I'm also not religious at all. But I'm not telling my viewers what to believe in. Not that kind of atheist. No one likes preachy anything. I'm not a fan of Reddit atheists myself. I mean, who is, right? They're very annoying. Just because you're an atheist doesn't mean you're intellectually above everyone else. Jesus, what people do to feel enlightened. Personally religious, but I respect atheists. Oh, so I assume you are Christian? A lot of Americans are Christian after all. Or maybe some kind of deist. Or maybe pantheist. That's really interesting. Stupid Golduck. I believe that Arceus created the world in 3 states of matter. I'm like Dr. House. That's a reference and joke. I don't actually believe in Arceus. I mean, I have an Arceus, but it's a Pokemon, not God. Imagine being able to have God in a very small ball. Some form of Christian, but I don't like the most organized religions. Can't categorize myself. I know 2 Christians like that, and they tell me they are utilitarianist Christians, which means they basically, what they told me is they believe hell is empty and that salvation comes for everyone. And basically these kinds of Christians, they are one of the most tolerant people I've ever met. I really have to say that. They have no... I love these kinds of Christians, but they're very rare, unfortunately. And I get a shiny Magikarp, hopefully. No, I get a normal Magikarp. Holy House MD. Don't believe in a loving bot, but I don't believe an all-loving God could damn someone. Yeah, that's the paradox of omnibenevolence, isn't it? Hey there, Alex. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Yeah, I'm actually doing fine. I'm just kind of annoyed that I was looking for a shiny Golduck for over 2 hours and nothing. 9 shiny Psyducks, of course, yes. But no shiny Golduck. But that's just a stupid first world problem. I'm fine otherwise. Hopefully you're doing good as well. Shout out to one of my patrons, Alex. Oh no. No, I'm stupid. Stupid Yana, very stupid Yana. So I'm okay and stupid today. How are you? now I've given up on the Golduck. I'm going for a Magikarp now, which should be easier given that I get more frames, but still. I'm gonna think stream for about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna head to bed. It's not gonna be Saturday then anymore, at least for me. And tomorrow is the national holiday of Luxembourg. Not that I care, I've never really celebrated that. But yeah, that is also going on tomorrow. As well as the other stream, of course, in Area 4. And I talked about how maybe I should proceed to the next areas anyway, even if I didn't get the not Magikarp maybe, but the Golduck. And I mean, it's time, right? I definitely want to see the Area 5 shinies. I'm good, I'm tired and stupid, finishing my job for today, eyes can't see, didn't sleep at night again. Oh, and you can still work after not being able to sleep for... Wow, I would just not be productive at all. I really wonder how you guys do that, definitely. Try to sleep better today, yeah, that's a good thing. Fan and Jesus as the Jesus conservatives want you to believe exists. I call myself believing in Can and Jesus, not Fan and Jesus. That's an excellent way of saying that. And I'd like to say that hopefully your version of Christianity is canon. I mean, it would be wonderful for there being salvation for everything. That would definitely put my mind at ease. And I mean, if that is truly the case, and God is omnibenevolent and omniscient and omnipotent, then I have absolutely nothing to fear. I don't go to hell. Because why would I? I'm not evil. I don't commit any sins. I don't covet my neighbor's wife, although in my case that would maybe be covet my neighbor's husband, but that's not happening. I don't steal. I'm not even a good liar in the first place. I honor my father and my mother. What else? I don't kill. Even if there were no laws against killing, I don't think I would do it. I don't think I could live with that. So... Oh no. Hearing an ambulance outside. Always hope that when you hear them that late, you kind of know, you have that sinking feeling it's an accident probably. You always hope that it's not too bad, especially when I hear helicopter here. There's in Luxembourg and also in Germany and France, there's so many hospitals that have helicopter landing places. And usually when you see those, you know there has been a very extreme accident. No, don't want this. Organized religion is awful. It's let humanity down a bad path in general. Oh, definitely. I'm not a fan of organized religion myself. Definitely. I mean, what the church has done. Jeez, if you really look what they have done, like all these indigenous children that they killed and women they killed, I think the list of what they didn't do as bad things would be a bit shorter, unfortunately. And all the kitty diddling, of course, that is one of the worst things. Like, how could you ever even think of doing anything like that? I know people, things just got really morbid again. That's just my streams, I guess. But That breaks my heart, you know. It's just... I actually just got disgusted by just thinking about that. I know you can't see me, but I just gagged at the thought of that happening and me being powerless to stop it. But then again, I can't do... I know I wish I could, but just daydreaming that I could fix everything, that's not gonna fix anything. People I work with are wondering about it too. I don't know how. Consultations, datasets, some OSINT job. In some tasks as making datasets and searching from some old documents, I'm even better. Maybe because I'm in need to refocus from what is happening, maybe. And I'm able to dive deep in what I'm doing without distractions. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I know from, unfortunately from experience, sometimes you can be very... Like, your body can do great achievements, even you're in fight or flight mode. So I definitely know that is a thing, even though it's not really optimal, but then again, given your situation, completely understandable. I've had Catholics try to justify the Crusades. Oh yeah, I've had that too. Like that they had a God-given right. That's exactly what they told me. A God-given right to do that. And I said, what happened to thou shalt not kill? Oh, in this case, that's okay. And even if you read other Christian theology books like Dante's Inferno, you see that, not Inferno in this case, Paradiso. That's the part where Dante Alighieri goes to heaven. And without delving too much into it, because it's chock full of so many Christian theology, also though very interesting book. There's basically a sphere of heaven where the crusaders or the warriors of God go to, and that's just so wrong. Imagine sending people who committed war crimes to heaven. I mean, that really rubbed me the wrong way. Oh, it's because it's the right religion, so they get to go to heaven, but the Muslims, no, they go to hell. It's like, oh, come on, that's really... Not a fan of that, definitely not. Alright, 10 seconds. Let's see. Will I still get a Magikarp? Well, yeah, but not a shiny one. Let's see. This is going to be the last reset for tonight. And if I don't get one here, I'm gonna see you hopefully tomorrow in that Safari, what am I saying? Safari Sunday. Yeah, my brain is already declining. And then it's gonna be Area 4, so hopefully the stupid Heracross will finally decide to get caught. I have some really nice things for you, Heracross. You should stay. And there's definitely some people among my viewers who might want a nice pink shiny Heracross. With a nice ribbon. Victor of 100 battles. Alright, let's see. Old Rod, you go. Okay. Fortunately, at least 4 frames advanced. What about now? Ah, there we go. So I could still get the... this or this, like this range of Magikarps. These quirky ones. Could potentially still get them. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. And the spider outside got a nice meal. Oh wow. That's quite a catch you got there, Mr. Spider. I think that... Ah yeah, it's a big moth. Sorry, moth. So such a quiet stream today. I'm usually used to having most of my viewers during the weekend, but that things seem to have changed, which I mean, it's fine by me. I mean, you guys have your lives. Can't believe there's streamers that flip out when people don't watch their streams. I'm like, wow, you're not the center of the universe. Even if you were Mr. Beast, you're still not the center of the universe. Don't have enough mass for that. And I think you would reach the Beaconstein bound first and collapse into a black hole. But that's just really stupid astrophysics jokes again. Just ignore them. Yeah, as you can maybe see, I'm very fun at parties. And with fun at parties, I mean they usually avoid me or I don't get invited. Once invite the nerd. Sadly at work, so I can't only talk that much. Yeah, I understand. I'm also generally, when I join streams, I tend to be more of a listener. Because I tend to have the stream playing on the phone, and then what I like to do is listen to the streamer and then do chores. And when I'm cleaning dishes, my hands are wet. I usually can't be on the keyboard then. Alright, let's see. And last reset for tonight, and it's oh well. I mean, tomorrow is another day, and then I'm gonna see how it continues. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for being part of the stream. And see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. So have a good one, good night, and goodbye.